Ma'am, shall we start?
Yeah, start, ma.
Good evening, everyone present here. A warm welcome to day 5 of our faculty development program on smart research and publication, research paper writing with AI tools organized by the Department of BCA. Today, we'll see about drafting and structuring manuscript. We are honored to welcome a distinguished academic and researcher, Dr. M. Kamaraj, currently serving as Associate Professor and Head of the Department at SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus. Dr. Kamaraj brings with him extensive academic and research experience spanning over 12 years, with core expertise in biotechnology and nanotechnology. His impressive academic journey includes multiple postgraduate degree and a PhD in biotechnology. He has previously held academic positions in Ethiopia and various institutions across India, with 111 publications, 7 books, 4 patents, and over 2,500 citations. Dr. Kamaraj has made significant contributions in areas such as environmental remediation, biosurfactants, and nanocatalysts. He has also been the recipient of several accolades, including the Best Researcher Award, Young Scientist Award, and more. We are privileged to have him with us today to share his insights, and we look forward to an intellectually enriching session. Let us all extend a warm virtual welcome to Dr. M. Kamaraj. Sir, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Ma'am, shall I begin?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We can
So
start.
first, very good evening to all present here. It's my pleasure to be with you as a resource person for this one week FDP organized by Davachi College. First of all, I would like to thank all the dignitaries of the institution like Chief Patron ABM K. Sanmugam Secretary Sir, Patron Dr. N. Bhuma Principal Ma'am, conveners Ms. A. Valliyamai, Head of Department and S. Sivahami Assistant Professor, as well as the coordinators Ms. D. Janashri Krishna, as well as Vaishnavi. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with you all. The most important aspect of today's version is how to draft or how to design a paper. And being a resource person, the themed conference, like a 1 week themed conference, and that too at the last day, it's been quite challenging because as a resource person, I may not know what has been taught. I might repeat the same content, or I might be telling you the same content that you already might be aware. In that case, kindly excuse me. I will just proceed with what I have known and that I will ready to share with you. I will share my presentation. I think my slides are visible now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, Today's topic is drafting and structuring a manuscript. Why this title is mostly needed, or what is the importance of this title means most of them we will be doing our research in an effective way, in some kind of complex way somehow. But after completing the research, it won't ends there. When the research ends, or it goes to the next step, only when it's been going to be published. So publication is not an easy task. Those who are not ready to pay, or those who want to do the publication only with their effort, it's not an easy task. So, however, you can do a wonderful research. It doesn't mean that you have achieved the research aspect. So, think how you convey or convert that research ideas or research outcomes into a publication that will lead attraction of other readers, and how the readers will utilize the published result, how far they were making it as a review paper, and based on that result, how they develop their research is are the key factors a single result have. As you can see nowadays, people mostly academicians and researchers, they are going behind the citations and ranking, numbering, H index, I index, top two scientists, top 2% of scientists in India, worldwide, Stanford. They are running behind the metrics. But if you see the recently awarded Nobel Prize winners, few of them were not in that 2% ranked list. But still, they were concentrating on their research and the outcome, the beneficial aspects of the particular research to the society. So, with this note, we'll move on to the presentation. We all might be well aware of what is the publication. It's nothing but it's the aim of scientific publication to make the research visible to the community and to make them interested, and it will elevate and evaluate the information which has been presenting in the particular publication, and with that publication it mostly goes to our next level. There are different types of publications, not only that what we think in the journal proceedings, etc. There are different types of publications available in majority of the time. For example, it includes magazine, official publication, report, thesis, etc. But most, as academician, what we give a preference to only a few aspects. One is journal, the first thing. That journal includes a research article and review article, and then books, letters, and then conference proceeding. These are the five major aspects that academician works. Sorry, four major aspects. Letter, mostly we were not aware of it. That is one of the easiest way that how we can publish. So that I will discuss with you later. So these are some of the types of publication. So how the structure of the publication should be there. I'm just quoting my own examples of publications. So for example, this is the research article. So it should have its graphical abstracts, keywords, introduction, discussion, conclusion, and declaration of competing interest. That is a um, most needed and mandatory section, and then reference, etc. Then this is a research article and there is a review article. So if you go to see the sections that what the research article is fixed on: introduction, methodology, results, conclusion. These are the four predominant sections. But when it comes to review, it's have similarly highlights, abstract, graphical abstracts, and all that. This will see what are things covers in this section. We will be discussing later. And then introduction, instead of results, methodology, and other things, we'll go section wise, topic wise. And then finally, there is some section. So this is how the general review article will be having different sections. And then this is the book, edited book chapter. Similarly, when we feel that the standard of the publication is not up to the level of the journal level, then we can proceed to the books where they need some basic information as well as, but journals, they mostly demand the advanced information. So this is one of the edited book. It will having series of chapters. These chapters will be written by any one of the authors. Why we have to publish? So as I said, in a research, it is the most important necessary step, uh, and it's mandatory for a scientific research process. Nowadays, we are using it for our graduation or career progression as well. What should be published? As a new and original results or methods should be published. It might be reviews or summaries of particular subjects or can also be published. And manuscript that having advanced knowledge, these are can be published. What no need to be or what not to be published? Reports which do not have any scientific interest. It's not doesn't mean to any priority or doesn't need attract readers. And out of date works, which some kind of research works, we might have done it in the 3 years before or 5 years before. Converting those data into publication may not suitable for the current audience. And then some duplications of previously published work should not be happen, and incorrect some unacceptable conclusion also should not be published. So you need a good manuscript to present your contribution to scientific community. Why? Because this good manuscript represent your research and should be a pathway for upcoming research. How do you get the article published? Yes, by following simple steps. We know certain procedure. We know we have introduction. We know it's having a methodology result. But how we prepare that article, that is the most important thing that most of us were missed out. So Writing an article is an art. The one who perform well is actually artist. So that's what we have to think about manuscript writing. So when you desire to write a paper, first don't get panic. Don't think that you do not have any experience or you may not be having any um, exposure on all those things. Get to know what is actually going to do, what kind of publication you are planning to do, what kind of data you have. Accordingly, analyze your thing, then proceed further. We should be very clear before we write anything. We should have some questions and we should have answer for the questions before writing. So most of the people, what they do, so it's simply start writing the manuscript. They never worried about what they're going to write, etc. Simply, they used to see the previously published papers and take the content from there. And nowadays, there are so many AI tools. So by using the AI tools, they will start writing the content. The main problem with AI tools is, yes, it is well and good. It will be guiding us. But the problem is people will not think anything. They do not have any writing skills because they completely expecting the information from the AI or artificial intelligence, how it will write, etc. They do not have any information. Whatever the AI give, they simply put it into the paper and they will simply setting it out. They do not have any clarity what is being given by the AI tools. So I won't prefer the AI tools writing. You can take it as an assistant, but not actually a writer. So first we have to think some questions like why you want to publish your paper, whether our article or whether our research is new and interesting, whether the topic that covered in the manuscript is a current and hot topic, and have you have any provided solution to some difficult problems that will attract the readers, and are you ready to publish at this point? Because you should have a proper data, then only you can go for a publication. So if you would have asked all these questions and if your answer is yes, then now you have to start your manuscript writing. So as I said, there are different types of articles. So we type of publications. We should check what kind of articles we are going to write because each articles or each type of articles has its own type of sections and its own type of preparation. So it should be properly discussed. And also based on your data, if you have think that you might have a very good and new informative result, you no need to wait for further developments of the results or further methodology because it might lose its scientific value because someone might publish immediately. So in that case, however, you have a short segment of results, but if it is a really novel, you can go for letters because the letters it's a very short communication or rapid communication type. So it's maximum of 4 pages. Okay, and it should also contains less than 1,000 words. So we can easily write 4 pages, but the thing is that 4 pages should be very precise and very innovative and very creativity, and the result should be more novelty. So like that, we can prepare a data. And if you not have any your own result, most of the academician will feel that I do not have time to do any research. I'm quite busy with academic work, administrative work, etc. In that case, instead of generating the data, you can go for a review papers. The most and the one shocking information is more than the research articles. Review articles will be receiving more attention towards the readers and as well as it will help you to create a more number of citation as well as. So accordingly, what you have to decide what type of research you have and what type of manuscript you are planning to prepare. So that will help you to figure it out. So at the end of this session, you will be having understanding how to follow your manuscript and how to organize the manuscript and how to deliver a message effectively. So your manuscript, we know that it's a document submitted for publications. So there are might be original article review or editorial, etc. Before we begin writing, we should identify the product of analysis and we should have a key points or recommendation and then we should have some outline of argument. Based on that outline of argument, we can generate the session. So as a researcher, as a writer of the particular manuscript, you have to follow the IMRD structure, that is the introduction, methods, results, and discussion. Introduction, we have to think why did you start the methodology, the result, and methods, what did you do to obtain the data, and results discuss what did you find by using this method, and discussion, it will discuss what does it all means. So identify the right audience for your paper. So where our manuscript should reach, whether it's only a Scopus index or WOS or UGC, now it's been dissolved, but UGC level or any newly joined journal or only the Google indexed journals, etc. Because you would have fixed your audience, you can design your writing style. If you have fixed that your paper going to be only a UGC approved journal, then the standard may not be more expected. The compromise somewhat it will be there in the preparation. But if you're going planning for high impact journals, Q1, Q2 ranking quartile journals, then obviously the standard of the paper should be improved. So accordingly, first you identify the audience of your paper so that it will help you to write the manuscript. Select the best journal for submission because each journal has its own requirement. Most of the time, people what they do, they simply start write the manuscript without having any idea where you are going to publish. Um, so the writing style may not match with the paper. For example, in my field, if I want to emphasize or my paper going to be published or going to be submitted in any material science related paper, for example, if I am working with any nanotechnology material for a environmental waste remediation, etc. If I'm desired to go with my material based paper, then my title should be more emphasized with the material aspect instead of the wastewater treatment. But if it are given a more criteria for wastewater treatment, if I submit the paper to the material science journal, obviously they think it's out of scope and they will reject. So we should fix what kind of journal we are going to publish. So this and all will help you to design a writing and help you to structure your manuscript. An international editor usually says the following problems must appear most frequently. One is a submission of paper which are clearly out of scope. And the most important thing, as I said, they without knowing the journal, simply the reviewer or simply the writer will write the article. So they may not format the paper according to the specific journal. So whenever we submit the journal to the paper to the journal, immediately they will reject because they may not follow the format. And also suggest proper reviewers. If you suggest some inappropriate review, also the papers might be removed, rejected. And sometime during revision, there might be queries, but in order to solve the queries, we may not do it properly. So we simply resubmit without doing any correction. So that also will lead to rejection. And most important thing, inadequate standard of English, because as I said, we should fix the target journal, target audience. Accordingly, we should improve the standard of English. So what makes a good manuscript? It should contain a clear, useful, and exciting scientific message. That message should be given in a logical manner and it should be formatted to best showcase of material and it should be written in a clear and simple way where it will help to transmit the message clearly. So when we are selecting the words or sentence choice, mostly what will happen when nowadays people using AI, the AI will do fascinating words. Or also what we do while getting the help of AI, not to remove the similarity percentage plagiarism, we do some other tools to remove that. It's a so we'll make it as like a human written material. But the problem is the word choice may not be clear. Okay. And also it may not be standard enough. Okay. So always when you decide to write a paper, first you should design or you should write in a specific order. How you supposed to write. Most of the people what they do, they write as an introduction first because that is easy for them. Because most of the data might be already available, we're just going to take it from there and there. Then they write a methodology because that also it can be obtained from others and we also followed the methodology so we might have a proper data. Then only they will go for a results and discussion. So what my suggestion is, you're supposed to go in a reverse order. First you prepare your figure and table in a proper way. That is means your results. You should create a proper results and tables by giving in an attractive manner, like the images should be very clear and colorful, and the tables are properly organized with the defined and clear details that what is it been there, what's supposed to be there in the table, etc. So once you have figured it out, the table and image, then you should write a methodology by which method you obtain these results. Then you explain the results, and then you discuss the results with the previously published paper. Most of the time people will fail in discussion because they know what they got the results. So they will write the results for 2, 3 lines or 4 lines. After that, they may not be aware how it's supposed to be discussed. So each and every time when the results were included, it should be properly discussed with the literature review that we'll see it in the upcoming sections. Then with the help of this methodology and results and discussion, now you have discussed all the results. So then we can start writing the conclusions, what you are going to conclude from the results and discussion. According to this conclusion, you should start writing your introduction, because now you can emphasize, because you already given a conclusion, what's supposed to be your outcome of this paper. So accordingly, you have to draft introduction by stating that as a novelty, so that it will goes in a flow. Once you have done the introduction, then you prepare abstract, that miniature of all these works in a 250 words. Then based on that, you define a title. So that now the title will be aligned with the outcome what you have intent to say. Because each section has its own definite purpose. So the thing is we got to follow in a proper way. But most of the time we fix the title, then we'll write the introduction, then we'll go for methodology, then result and discussion, then conclusion. But it should not be there. Try to follow the given order. So as I said, the title should be as last. But however, we are creating the title as the last. But the thing that we show the first impression will be the title. That's why we are taking more time for designing a title. How the in the game or the prize winning methodology, the first prize winners will be announced last. Okay. Similarly, here title will be generated as last, because it is the most important value by attracting the audience as well as attracting the readers as well as the editors. So pay more attention developing a title, but most of the time we fails. We simply reproduce the title which is already existing, just changing one or two lines. It won't be catchy or won't attract the audience interest. So we should be more clear and careful about the developing your titles. So for the discussion of all sections, I'm just using one of my article as a demo. You can see this how I have created a title. The title should not be goes more than 85 words in Elsevier, and there are each and every journal has its own limitation. They have for number of letters for title. So that's what I said. You have to target a journal before writing a manuscript. For example, if I have prepared three lines, but my journal is accepting only 85 words or 85 90, 100, some specific values. If I submit there, simply it will get rejected, because the first point itself I have not gone through the journal policy and journal author guidelines. So ensure you have created a proper demo, proper introduction. Then second most important is abstract. It should stand alone, because maximum 50 to 300 words should be there for a abstract. So all the works or all the content that you're going to discuss in your entire manuscript, that should be comprised within 250 words. So this also have some kind of format. For example, few journals, they will ask in abstract itself, they will ask you the introduction, methodology, results, and conclusion, etc. Okay, few journals they won't ask in this format. They will ask only one paragraph which is having 250 to 300. So identifying the journal is the most important thing. So that will help you to design the and draft the manuscript. So the abstract should not more than 300 words. It should be very clear and specific. Okay. So as I said, it's a miniature of manuscript. It should be very structured and most commonly read, because not all the readers will read the entire manuscript. Most of the time readers will review or read the abstract first. Even when you're sending your paper for publication, reviewer also will read mostly your abstract first. If they are convinced with your abstract only, they will accept it for a review purpose. So you should be more clear and concise about what you're going to say. So this is an example of abstract of our paper. You should start with some basic information. First 2-3 lines should be about the general information, like kind of introduction. Then what should be the research gap. Then finally we are moving to the how we have performed the result. Methodology is supposed to be there. And with the help of methodology, what should be the outcome. Okay, that results also should be there. We no need to discuss elaborately, but the result should be given here. But most of the authors do mistake here, that what they do, they will give a qualitative data. They won't give a quantitative data. They will simply say, um, out of this methodology, we have got a very good result. That's it. They won't describe what is the result. So we got to clearly understood. We got to clearly mention that what is the percentage of development we have got. What is the number of outcome we obtained. What is the numbers in a quantitative way. We supposed to give our results. Then only it will be more attractive. You should not give a general qualitative data. We should give a quantitative data. Then finally there will be a conclusion and then future studies or future direction, how we going to, what we recommend from this manuscript that should be there in the within this 200 to 300 words. Okay. Then keywords, it is another matrix where it will help you to identify your specific paper by the readers, because they will search the article by giving the keywords. So appropriately choose the keywords. Most of the what the faculty will do, they simply reproduce the keywords which is there in the title. Okay. For example, if this is the title, people will simply give bioactive, human, plate, proliferation, etc. So they will just simply repeat the content. Instead of, we can repeat the content, but it's not more than 2 3 lines. What is not there in the content and the title, that can be given as a keyword, so that will improve your search engine options. Okay. So usually the keyword should be 5 to 6. Even for this also there is a different format. For a few journals accept after the one keyword it's supposed to be comma, semicolon, colon. So there are so many format sections will be there. So you have to refer it properly. Then the introduction section. You have a very good chance to convince your readers that why they have to study this work, why they have to read this work, and what is the importance of it. Describe the problem clearly, because most of the time the writers will simply write so many additional content, blah blah blah. For example, this there, etc. Basic concept, basic information which is already there in the textbook, etc. They never say what is the novelty, what is the research gap, why they are doing this work, etc. are not there in the introduction. So by reading the introduction itself, the editor will know what is the standard of the article, so they simply reject it. So you should be more clear that what you're supposed to give. It should be around 750 to 1000 words. That's it, fine. It should not be more wordy, because people mostly will do introduction section in an easy manner. They simply copy paste from the published literature and they will keep it as more than 3 pages, 4 pages. But when it comes to research and discussion, they will write only 1 page. So we should be very clear what we're supposed to do. There should be some flow. That flow has to go in a proper way. First thing, some general introduction. What is a common thing? What are things happening? In that, what is the research gap? How it's supposed to be addressed? So in order to fill the research gap, how this manuscript helpful and what we're going to study in this manuscript, etc. should be there in the introduction. Few people are quite often they will use some overuse of excessive abbreviations, expressions such as it's a novel work, first time in the world, first to ever mechanism, paradigm changing, etc. etc. They will highlight super expressive or super highlight the work by novelty, etc. So that should not be happen. If something has happened or some research has been done in the field already, we can no issues, we can simply highlight. Then we can say that in that study there is no this kind of works are not done, that has been addressed here like that. So we should be very clear that what is been done, why it has been done. We should not over exaggerate it. So those kind of words also we should be given a clear idea. So first thing is we have to zoom in, then background, knowledge gap, rationale, and what we're going to do. These are the components supposed to be there in the introduction. So this is the example of our paper introduction. First few lines, we were giving out what is the three-dimensional, what is cell expansion, general things. Then we are coming into background, then the objective, rational cap, etc. So once now we would have framed the introduction and we were clear about. But while you're writing, we'll do it in a reverse manner. But as per the order, I'm just showing you the sections. So the methodology sections, it is quite simple because we would have followed some standard methodology to do some research work. So we can easily mention them. But thing is, we should not give a very, very well cleared methodology here. If you feel that some kind of works are very basics. Okay, for example, in some enzymatic assay in biology field, that enzymatic assays are might be very basic methodology. So there, everyone will be familiar with that methodology. We no need to give a detailed methodology, for example, agar diffusion, antibiotic activity. We no need to mention the clear methodology of all those things because it's already well known. And if the feel that your methodology going in exhaustive manner, that you can give it as supplementary material instead of giving it in the methodology. So the methodology should be very clear, concise, and informative, but doesn't mean that you should be having more unnecessary elaborated manner. It should be elaborated manner. It's not just providing too much of words. So it should provide key information like study settings, study design, operational definitions, sample strategy, sample size, study procedure, data management, human participant production if it is involved. So all these things are supposed to be covered in a proper and defined way. If you have followed their methodology in a straight away, you can write the methodology and you can quote their reference. From where you have obtained this methodology. That is most important thing most of the academician will miss. They simply write the entire procedure, but they won't mention that from which article they have taken or which author suggested this methodology. And also, some will simply say that we have adopted this methodology from so and so person. That's it. So whether you have followed similarly or exact methodology or would have changed anything, that and all should be given clearly. For example, would have made some minor changes. You could clearly say that the methodology is adopted from so and so person with minor changes. Then also you should say what is the minor changes as well as. Okay. So however you are clear and informative and concise, it will be more attractive. So on everywhere, wherever you are taking methodology, you should give a proper reference. You have to give a proper citation, and each and every methodology should be given a specific subsections. Most of them people will write in a continuous paragraph manner. They may not be aware, or even the readers may not know what kind of methodologies are adopted, how it's been structured, etc. So define them individual subsections. Finish the methodology there itself, so that if I want to know anything about the uh, how the electron microscopy is performed, I can refer only this section instead of reading the entire content. So it will help the readers to reach the effective. And once we have done with the results and discussion section, so most of the time we might have a data, but the data may not be represented in a proper way. That's what I said. The first important thing while preparing the manuscript is how the results will be documented or expressed in an image or table. It should be very clear image should be there. So whatever is representative results, that should be essential for discussion should be presented, not all the data. Again, if I say, if you have any additional information that you want to give, any additional data if you want to give, you can give it in the supplementary material. Also, do not hide the data for any later purpose, because if you do any three experiment, one experiment in between, if you have missed any data or if you hide any data, there will be no continuity. So it will be creating unnecessary issue. So as like the methodology, results also use the subheadings, clearly define what is the content, and but there itself you just provide the necessary data. So that will clear and easy way to understand a particular story. Because as when we are watching a movie, we are eagerly waiting for a climax. The climax is not convincing you, the entire 3 hours movie will become waste. So similarly, the results and section should be more attractive, or else, however, the time which you have prepared, it will become a waste. So as I said, the image should be proper. Like if you are giving any graph, just highlight, differentiate each and every lines what it means. Either by colors, if you feel that colors will not be possible, at least by adding some different structural changes between the lines. For example, like a horizontal circle. So even though if it is produced in a black and white, reader can easily understand, okay, this diagram, circular line will be indicating this one and square line indicating this one. Like that, they will have a clarity. Okay. So mention clearly
Hello.
what you have. Yes. Okay. Mention clearly what you want to convey. And also when you're preparing a table, clearly mention all the important parameter in the table properly. And one of the common mistake that most of our authors will do while writing the manuscript is, for same data, they will keep one table as well as they will keep one figure. But it's not mostly accepted. If you want to convey anything in a graphical representation or table, you should be in only one version. For any analysis, if you have prepared any table, if you feel it is more convincing, just give a table alone. No need to repeat the same in the manuscript. If you have do all those things, simply your paper will be rejected, because they know that's not comes under standard. So either the particular data either should be present in the table form as well as, or else in the graphical form, or else in the image form, not in all the way. So how you present the data or how you present the results also most important thing. Most of them what they will do, simply they, for single image they will be keeping one page, they will assign in a single page. Okay, for example, for this one, if you have a 9 image, but normal time people all they do, for each and every image they will keep it in a separate image, figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4, like that they will keep increasing the count. They feel that if increasing the count it will receive the attraction, but it won't. So you should be very clear what kind of results you want to provide in a single image, or what kind of results support to be cumulative. And another thing, when you are comparing more than one image, you should be properly labeled as like in the image A, B, C, D, etc. In that and the given in the title, you should explain what is A, what is B, what is C, etc. Most of the time, what the readers will do, they will combine two images and they simply give figure one, or they will simply give figure one, figure two different titles. So when you are comparing the data, if you are presenting in a single image, while you submitting the data, it should be in a single image. But most of them, what the faculty will do, they will submit a different images as individual file, but they will assign as a single number. So it should not be there. Under figure 2, if you are submitting 8 image or 9 image, all supposed to be a single image. So that kind of priority we should make. Okay. Use only color when it is necessary, because some journals they won't prefer colored photo during a printed version, because printed version the color one will be more cost. But online version they will prefer only color because it attract the audience. So the color needs to be visible and distinguishable when printing black and white. Also, do not do any alteration in the images, that will become a plagiarism as well. So how we present our data as a result is most important thing. So whenever is needed, whatever is needed, you should give a proper information. And when you are writing the results, as you can see here, whenever you are discussing the result, you should immediately give the figure number or table number if something is relevant to the particular result, so that the reader will easily understand. Okay, they will read the content and then immediately refer the particular image or particular table. Okay, and clearly indicate which one you want to highlight. Like for example, in this image, there are three images. In this, where I want to focus or which I want to focus or which I want to convince to the reader, that should be given in a proper way. Okay, and next one, the discussion. Because most of the time, even students and most academicians will struggle in this portion, because as I said, we have 3 to 4 lines of results because it has been obtained from our analysis. But how to interpret the data, how to analyze the data, how we can compare the data with the existing one, that where we mostly lacks. So it's the most important section of our article, because you can get a more chance to sell your data, because we are here we are comparing. So you may take out some result. That result we are comparing with the previously published work, and we are claiming that we were novel from the previous work, or we are one step ahead from them, or we are unique from them. Like that, we are having a chance to explore our work. So for every work, we should discuss with the previously published data. It might be similar, or it might be different, or it might be contradictory, or it might be going in line, whatever it is, but it should be properly compared. Then only we'll have a clarity whether our results in line with the early published data, it's going forward with the published data. So when we are going for a discussion, we should be very clear. The quantitative discussion as always preferred. As I said, if you feel that your work is much more better, you might have some data that is far better than the previously published work, you should clearly state how far it is better than. For example, the respondents may given a positive feedback to any banking mechanism or any programming or any survey. You should say that our results were 20% better than the previous, so X and Y person, or 20% or 24%. In this aspect, quantitatively, for 5 minutes earlier, we are obtained a response by using running the particular program. Like that, it should be more quantitative information, not simply say it's better than the previous published, or it's aligned simply similar like other published works, or different. So we should not give a generalized data. It should be more precise. So as the discussion should be having a summary of findings, you should properly interpret and infer, and you should compare properly with the previously existing data, and you should discuss your strength and limitation, what would be possible, what should not be, and you draw some conclusion from the discussion on each and every sections, then give a recommendation. For example, we are storing a data, or we are running a program for using a specific methodology. It might giving any outcome. So you compare and give a conclusion. Yes, if you are running this data for this time, or by using this technique, the outcome might be strong enough compared to the previous person. And this can be used for a further study, especially the further study also, how this could be implemented further for the better development. So everything should be there in a proper discussion. Similarly, you have to identify the journals, as I said, because this result and discussion section, most journals, they will prefer in two different way. One is Combined version like result and discussion should be the same section, or few journals will expert in a different version. So different section. Okay. So it is both having plus and minus. If we combine result and discussion, immediately we can compare the results after we describe our result. So that to avoid repetition of data or repetition of word count. But when it's going to a separate section, most of them readers what they do or authors what they do, they simply reproduce the same data which is already published in the which is already written in the introduction, sorry, result section. Same word they will keep repeating in the discussion also. So it's not a repeating of discussion here, it's a repeating of results. Here we should properly discuss why we have got the particular result, how far it is varies, or how far it is, why it is not varies, or if it is varies, why it is varies. So everything should be properly discussed. So the discussion part is most important section. We can highlight our findings. Then writing, as I said, while we writing the discussion or while we writing the results part, what kind of language or what kind of tense that we use that also define the standard of our English. Nowadays, most of the people are using AI, so they are not having any language issue. But if you want to develop your writing skills, you should write yourself and you should know all those things. So present tense, you have to use it for known facts and hypothesis, and you should use past tense for experiment that you have conducted. There you should not write, I will perform, take 1 ml of water, add here. Like that, you should not give any command. It should be in a past tense. And then if you want to describe the results of an experiment, use a past tense. So if you feel yourself or if you want to be a good writer of your manuscript, you should know what kind of tense we're supposed to use. And once you have prepared all the results and discussion section, as I said, you can draft a short words. Again, here 250 to 300 words. This also should conclude whatever you want to say from your manuscript. That should be concluded here. Clear way. Okay, not here we don't need to mention all the elements, but you should mention the required elements, what you want to conclude and what you want to proceed from. Okay. So as I said, while you're writing, images, figures should be the first version, then methodology, result discussion, then conclusion. From the conclusion, you got to draw a production. So tell how your works advance the field from present to knowledge. So do not repeat the abstract. See, again, the most of the time what the problem occurs, people will rewrite the abstract. Same content will be repeated here, but there is always a clear definition or difference between the abstract and conclusion. Do not repeat the same word. Okay. And then there is some acknowledgement sections, that is where you have to give the recognition for the people who works with you or who people want to collaborate with you. So these are the mandatory sections nowadays. All the journals are exporting. Then reference. The most important mistake that the people will do is reference style. They simply write because here out the selecting a journals will play a major role. We might have followed some kind of standard style, but when you're submitting to the particular journal, the journal needs in a different style. So what will happen? You're supposed to repeat and revise the entire reference into specific style. It will be more time consuming. However, there are so many AI tools nowadays. It's been available. Better to be prefix that what kind of reference style you're going to use, and then and there you got to cite the works wherever you want to highlight, and all the reference should be in a same and similar style. There are majority of the styles are given over here. It's mostly most of journals will go with the American Physiological Association, shortly called ABBA. It's like author name, initial and year. Then few journals will give a preference for Harvard referencing, Chicago citation, where they will be Vancouver, for example, where they will be giving a number style instead of the author version. But my suggestion is whenever you are writing, there are so many AI tools available nowadays, and there are so many add-ons which will help you to write or cite the works then and there while you're writing PayPal or Google Word, etc. But try to go with if you are going with the manual writing, go with the APA style first of all, because if you go any numbering style, after completing the manuscript, if we add one single additional reference, you got to change entirely to the numbering version. So always finish your works manuscript in a APA file by author name, year, etc. So that final version you can change into the style. But instead of those manual writing, if you want to go in a software assisted, you can use Bentley, EndNote, reference work, then except there are so many AI tools, so that will help you to properly cite. So by single click, you can change the format of reference immediately. No need to do it in a manual way. So like that, you should be very clear that where you are using AI and for what you are using AI. I suggest writing by manual way and by all this kind of format and etc. You can use a AI. So how we can organize the ideas within a structure, how we can enable them to form a creative writing. You have to follow the argument matrix template. Okay. So we will create a different type of ideas for each section. Based on that idea, we can define what should be the next subsection should be there. So that will help you to help you to follow the direction that how the manuscript is supposed to be writing. So apart from the regular sections, as we have seen in the first few slides, there are some optional sections: highlight, research in context, and graphical abstract. Highlights is the bulletin points. It should not be more than certain word limits. So single line which will giving 5 to 6 lines. Each and every single lines will be highlighting the importance of or significance of your work. Then research in context, etc. And graphical abstract, these are the highlights. Like you should be clearly given 5 to 6 bullet points. What is the major important points and significance of your work? And then research in context, few journals will give a preference. You're giving a extra idea or extra information whether the article can be suitable for the readers or not. Then graphical abstract, that is a diagrammatical expression or explanation of your own manuscript. How we are preparing abstract for 250 words, 300 words. There is some image way that we want to convey what is our manuscript want to discuss or want to highlight. Then while following the scientific manuscript or scientific writing, you should be very clear about the 6S in the scientific writing. One is it should be more simple. However simple is supposed to be clear. Because nowadays when we are using AI tools, it will give some fascinating word choice. But it may not be clear or may not be understandable. So always go with a simple way of writing and don't unnecessarily add up the words. Create a short versions. It should be more structured and more sequential. There should be a flow properly. How the work supposed to go, how the writing supposed to go. So it should follow a sequential way. And these all supposed to be in a strong manner. Okay. Then it should be more specific. So simple, short, structured, sequential, strong, and specific. These are the 6S. Yeah, authors supposed to know while they start writing their manuscript. So do review of your own draft because most of the time what the authors will do, they simply write, they won't read it back. They simply submit to the journals. And when the editor reads or reviewer reads, their perspective is entirely different. So according to their perspective, the article may not be convinced. So as what I suggest always is write, rewrite, read, review your own work, and if it is needed, revise, again read, again review. So you do it by yourself until you feel satisfied. But the thing is, you should not do all those things in the same timeline. For example, if I'm finishing my writing today, I should keep the manuscript untouched, means you should not see the article again for a couple of days or couple of weeks. So 2, 3 weeks, we're supposed to leave it as it is. After 3 weeks, we have to read. Okay. Then we itself will feel that what we have written may not be convincing to us. So we will review and then we will revise. So keep it for another 2 weeks, again read. So we'll get a clarity. So we might feel that okay, what we have written is not clearly mentioned. We can go in some other way. Like that, we'll get a suggestion by ourselves. So again, we'll review and revise. At least as a writer, we should revise the manuscript minimum of 2 or 3 times at a different time interval. Okay. By writing today, if you read the article by again tomorrow, you won't get any correction by yourself. So you should keep it for a while. Then you should read it again. Then you will give a revision. So accordingly finish. Once you feel satisfied, then alone you got to go for a submission. Okay. So while you go for a submission, make sure that your manuscript does not have any uh, upper limit, over the limit of plagiarism. Okay. So nowadays people think that they can simply use the AI tool, but the major problem is nowadays the plagiarism detecting software tools, they will not only detect the similarity, they will detect the AI version also. So good journals, they will be having the paid version of uh, the manuscript, means the plagiarism finder. The most important highly used version is Turnitin. So it will detect properly how much percentage of similarity you have and what did the AI score. Most of the journals were giving a cautions that If your AI rating is more than 10%, your manuscript will not be go for a review process, it will simply reject it. Okay, so don't think that by simply using AI tool or simply using the humanizing tools, that also AI tools to convert the AI writing into humanizing word, but somehow it will be detected by the journals. And also the AI tools, when they convert the AI writing into humanized version, they will simply change the words. There will be proper meaning. Simply they will be fascinating words. So it may not be attracting the readers. Okay. So nowadays it is quite challenging one. But we have to go with the things. So we should have a less than 15% of overall similarity and then 15 to 10% of AI rating too. So we should be ensured before submitting, give it for a evaluation by yourself. By any of, if you have a provisions possibilities, you can do it in your own institution or by your known contacts. Try to do some more, get to know what is your own similarity and AI percentage, so that you can reduce. Then you can submit to journals, or else simply they will reject upon submission. It's unnecessarily waste our effort and time. Okay. Then while you submit the paper, you should also submit a proper covering letter. That itself will give a clear idea, and first impression is best impression. So that kind of attraction should be there in your covering letter. Because most of the time we may not give a priority for all those things. That also a small thing that we should be more uh, informative, and we should suggest the potential reviewers during the submission of our papers, not unmatched professionals, etc. And the review process is more complex one. Yes, we have to go with the comments. Some reviewers will give harsh comments. Some they give simply criticizing us, but we have to go through it. There is no other way. So if you fear about the review, we may not get our manuscript to be published. So as author, you just start preparing the paper, submit the paper. The editor level it will go. They will check whether the basic requirements met or not based on their guidelines. If it is yes, they will assign a reviewers, or else they will simply reject. So that's what I'm saying. Always find the journals, read their author guidelines, instruction, accordingly prepare your manuscript, get avoid the rejection. So once they assign the reviewers, they will review and give a recommendation. So editor will again collect the information from the reviewer. Based on that, they will take a decision whether it should be rejected or it should go for acceptance, or minor revision or major revision, whatever it is. If it is a major revision required, they will send it to the author back. Then the author has to revise the content or revise the components based on the reviewer content. Most of them authors feel that, or for example, they might get 10 to 20 journals, sorry, 20 comments. Author feel that no, we do not have time to do this 20 comments or 20 corrections. So better we withdraw, we submit to another journal. So somehow they will keep sending to another journals without doing the revision. But you have to work hard and you should do the revision and you should send it back. Most of the time it might be accepted on the revision is done. Okay. So initial review, as I said, the editors will check the quality and then they will send it to reviewers or will reject. Most of the time, yearly rejection mainly happens because of the improper preparation as per the journal still. So you should be more clear and concise. Reviewing is the process, doesn't mean that your paper will be submitted, accepted for publication. They will give a comments that we have to work on it and then we have to submit properly by addressing what kind of comments given by the reviewer and how it's been addressed, etc. As I said, do not submit resubmit elsewhere without revision, because as I said, most of the time reviewers, authors will be more lazy. They will simply, once we have received more than 20 comments, we don't want to do it. We simply remove it from the submission and we submit to another else. Wherever it goes, it will receive similar kind of comments. So don't get panic. Let it be. Even though if it is rejected after revision, it is fine. Let it be rejected by 2-3 journals. But however, you would have completed 30 revisions. So when you submit the journal manuscript into fourth time, obviously you would have covered most of the revisions and most of the improvement. So obviously that fourth time it will be accepted. So submit to right journals, submit to one journal only at the time, check the proper English, attention given to the structures and requirements, and be honest with what you're doing. So obviously it's a stressful one because we may not know what will be the comments from the reviewer. Sometimes they will simply reject by saying harsh comments, but we have to follow it up. There are so it will be time taking process. Don't always go with a journal which will accept the paper within 5 days, 1 week, etc. Mostly they will be in a predatory journal. So choose a proper journal which is having a 3 to 5 months time, etc. And also why I'm saying to be more honest, because don't think that your paper published means it won't be monitored anywhere else. You don't have to given any false information after publishing also. It might be notified by any reviewer, any person who read your article. They will, if it have raised a complaints, your article might be retracted. Once your article is retracted, you will giving a it will affect your scientific career. So make sure that you are giving a right data. In order to get a more count or more publication, don't give any falsified information. Don't get trapped yourself in the retracted version. Okay, and scientific plagiarism and self-plagiarism, citation, etc. You are well aware of it. So aware of those things. Use a proper databases to find correct references. People nowadays using ChatGPT to write a reference, but whatever reference, most of the time reference given by the AI will be incorrect. So check twice before finalizing the version. Use the affiliated and authorized websites and tools for preparation of things. Okay. So your paper is worthless if no one reads or uses or cites it. So properly develop your manuscript and create a good manuscript. Okay. Um, these are some of the references that I obtained the information from this for this presentation. So with this note, I thank you once again the organizers for giving me this opportunity. I know, as I said, the information which I given here might be you are well aware of it. If it is new, kindly accept it and consider as a learning. If it is a repetition, kindly excuse me. Thank you. If any query comments, you are welcome to ask.
Thank you, Kamaraj sir. It was really wonderful. That is, we know how to write, but where we have to start, where we are lagging, what is the supplementary materials, what we have to do precisely, all these things, it is new to us. I hope so. It is really useful. The session was really useful. That is, we have to review our paper. We have to precisely form the discussions and results. We should not repeat. All these things are really positive suggestions for us.
Thank
Any
you.
queries? If possible, can you send the PPT, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That I will share
Yeah.
with you. No issue.
You will
Because this
share?
information I have obtained from the Elsevier publisher guidelines, so I can share it. No issues.
I have taken many screenshots, even though some special six yes, and repeat, read, write, repeat, all those things, and the loop infinity, all these things are really useful for us
Okay, sure.
because we
I'll
never
share.
review our paper. We have to do it again, not
Yeah,
immediately,
obviously.
after 1 week later, like that.
Yeah.
Those things is really interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And also you told that why your paper is rejected, we need to mention in the covering letter for applying in the next one, right?
No need to mention a review letter, but we should be well aware of it.
Yeah.
During
Sometimes
revision,
they
if there's
didn't
something,
mention why they are rejecting our paper. Nothing is coming.
yeah, mostly because if it is, they will think if it is a minor revision or major revision, they will give it as a comments. But generally, it won't fit under the themes or under the scope. Simply, they will give a comment that it's been rejected. That's it.
Okay.
So that's what the most of the rejection will happens only because of the formatting and a very worst preparation. Or else, mostly it will be goes through the revision stage.
Yeah. Okay. Any queries, audience?
Okay, I think they was giving a chat message. Thank you, etc. Thank you so much for your opportunity. There are so many things to learn. The writing and publication of articles will becomes only with the help of practice. So my suggestion is always go with the practice. Keep writing, keep revise, keep submitting to multiple journals. Don't worry about the rejection. Even though if it is rejected in 10 journals, do the revision and submit to 11th journal. Somewhere it will be surely accepted. Keep trying. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Dr. Bhuma, Principal of Avicii College of Arts and Science. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Actually, I thought I will, yes, sir. Thank you very much for your precious time and convey my
you.
regards to Dr. Tirmagan, sir, also. And
Sure,
hope your
sure.
peace will be. And yes,
Yes, ma'am.
my mentor was Dr. Venkatraman, sir. And of course, yes,
So,
from here,
yeah,
yes,
she's,
yes,
no,
yes,
he's ex-dean in SRM.
yes. Sir. And really, always we look upon you, especially the technology of SRM, for valuable
Okay.
inputs. For it. We need to learn. Like that is what our all our staff members also keep that point into their mind. And thank you very much. And I think the day doesn't stop with this today. And we will be uh, requesting you to give us more inputs and more guidance for more of research writing, so that we will also get into that flow. And I think whatever nowadays in the research is not so easy. It needs more of. I just joined last and read, revise again, read. That was really the excellent point, well said. And we understand that is the review our own articles and again read our own articles. See, whenever we write
Yeah,
something, I think we won't be tempted to read our own article, right? But
yeah,
that is we are.
obviously.
Yes, yes, that's a
That,
very good
that is a
point.
strategy I used to do, ma'am. I used to write article for next year, always by this year. So I
Oh,
will keep it for
excellent,
more month with me itself. Every month, once in a while, I will read. Then I'll keep it with me for 6 months. So it will keep
excellent,
on. I
sir.
will revise. Then only when I submit, it will goes for publication.
Okay, so that is one thing, and I have to appreciate. There are two questions in the chat box. Meanwhile, I would like to appreciate the Department of Computer Applications of our college for having taken an excellent resource. Like I do not know where did they find all this resource person within short duration of time. They just said, "Ma'am, all resources are ready, and we are just ready with the FDP." Definitely, they've done an excellent job, and a lot of many people have joined. Of course, we have 100, and I think we will extend this to 300 next time to Zoom. And also, many people are watching through our YouTube also, sir. And
Okay,
thank you
okay.
very much, definitely for that. And I think two questions are arised. One is, Madam, I think
Right. Yes.
submit the same paper.
What do
Yes,
you
I
mean
think
by
there will be.
retracted?
Retracted means, ma'am, we might have given a false information. Okay, the first thing, it might be given a false information. Or else we might have do some நம்ம இமேஜ் நம்ம மாத்திருப்போம். ஓகேங்களா? நம்ம இமேஜ் ஒரு நமக்கு கரெக்டான ரிசல்ட் வந்திருக்காது. In order to show it as a good result, we might have did some modification. எங்க கரெக்டா வந்துச்சோ அந்த போர்ஷன் மட்டும் எடுத்து அது தனி இமேஜா அப்படி நம்ம பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிருப்போம். இல்ல ஒரு தப்பான டேட்டாவா வர பாசிபிலிட்டி இல்லாத டேட்டா நம்ம ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணிருப்போம். சம்டைம் நமக்கு வந்து ரிவ்யூ ஆர்டிகல் நம்ம ரீட் பண்ணிருப்போம். அந்த ரிவ்யூ அதோட பேஸ் எடுத்து வச்சு நம்ம ஒரு ஆர்டிகல் எழுதி அந்த ரிவ்யூ பண்ண ஒர்க் பப்ளிஷ் ஆகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி we might have published our own work. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஒர்க்ஸ் நம்ம ஏதாவது ஒரு மிஸ்டேக் பண்ணி நம்ம பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிடுவோம். பட் அந்த விஷயத்த யாராவது ஒரு ரீடர் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி இவிட மேட் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் டு எடிட்டர் பப்ளிஷ்டு வெர்ஷன் ஆஃப் ஆர்டிகல் வந்து ரிட்ராக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ரிட்ராக்ட்னா அது ரிமூவ் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. அது வந்து நம்ம இதுக்கப்புறம் பப்ளிஷ்டா கிளைம் பண்ண முடியாது. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள்
Okay.
2025 ஜான்ல நான் ஒரு பேப்பர் பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். பட் அது வந்து 2025 டிசம்பர்ல கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டாங்க. அது ரிட்ராக்ட் பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னா ஐ ஒன்ட் கன்சிடர்ஸ் எனி மோர் ஆஃப் மை பப்ளிகேஷன். இட்ஸ் லைக் ஐ மிட் ஹவ் மேட் சம் மிஸ்டேக். ஸோ அது வந்து ரிமூவ் பண்றது பப்ளிகேஷன் போர்ட்டல் இருந்து ரிமூவ் பண்றது பேர் தான் ரிட்ராக்ஷன் ப்ராசஸ்.
How do we know, sir? We are referring some articles and we are writing our own paper, manuscript, right? How do you know that paper has been published or not? We are giving reference, right? We are not giving any false information or anything. We are giving
This
a
will mostly
reference.
occurs when it's this will mostly occurs when it's original research work.
Okay,
நான்
okay.
ஒரு ரிசர்ச் ஒர்க்கை ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு இமேஜ் ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னா அந்த இமேஜ் வந்து உண்மையான விஷயமா இருக்கும். நான் அதை வந்து மாடிஃபை பண்ணி விடுவேன் அந்த இமேஜஸ்.
Okay, okay, okay.
ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி டைம்ல வந்து அது பாசிபிலிட்டி இருக்கும். அதே சமயம் எனக்கு ஒரு ரிவ்யூ பேப்பர் வந்திருக்கும். நான் ஒரு ரிவ்யூவரா அந்த பேப்பர் ரிவ்யூ பண்ணியிருப்பேன். அது கமெண்ட்ஸ் கொடுத்துருப்பேன். அந்த பேப்பர் பப்ளிஷ் ஆகிற ஸ்டேஜ்ல ப்ராசஸ் இருக்கும். அதுக்குள்ள நான் அதே பேஸ்ல இன்னொரு ஒர்க் எடுத்து நான் எழுதி பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிடுவேன்.
Okay, okay, okay.
பட் அந்த அந்த ரிவ்யூவர் வந்து அந்த அந்த பேப்பரோட ஆத்தர் வந்து கிளைம் பண்ணலாம், இல்ல இதை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நான் தான் ப்ரொபோஸ் பண்ணியிருந்தேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி. அப்ப அந்த ஜேர்னலோட எடிட்டர் ரெஃபர் பண்ணுவாங்க அந்த பேப்பரை யார் ரிவ்யூ பண்ணாங்க. சப்போஸ் அந்த பேப்பர் நான் தான் ரிவ்யூ பண்ணிருக்கேன் அந்த எடிட்டர் கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா, ஸோ ஆப்வியஸ்லி அவங்களுக்கு கெட்ட கிளாரிட்டி நான் இந்த ஐடியாவை அங்கிருந்து எடுத்திருக்கேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி டைம்ல அந்த மாதிரி சில தீஸ் ஆர் சம் ஆஃப் தி எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ். நம்ம ஒரு மால் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ற மாதிரி தான். நம்ம ஏதாவது ஒன்று பண்ணிட்டோம் தெரிஞ்சு பண்ணிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு நம்ம ஆப்ஷன் கிடையாது. அந்த ஆர்டிகல் வந்து பப்ளிஷ் ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் கூட வித்ட்ரா பண்ணிடுவாங்க. அதனால வி ஷுட் பி மோர் கிளியர் அண்ட் வி ஷுட் பி மோர் காஷியஸ் when we are producing any data or when we are giving any results போது நம்ம கொஞ்சம் காஷியஸா இருக்கணும்.
Yes. Thank you. Hope, Shiva, it is clear to you. Next question, sir. If the paper is got rejected once from one publisher with recommendations, can we submit the same paper to other publisher after making modification?
Paper, if it is been rejected, no issues, no restriction for you. You can submit to another journal by modifying the comments. But we no need to mention that we have submitted this paper to elsewhere and it's been rejected, etc. And the more information we no need to do. But we are always submit once if it is rejected. பட் எப்ப பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னா ஒரு பேப்பர் ரிவ்யூல ஒரு ஜேர்னல் இருக்கும் பொழுது சேம் டைம்ல இன்னொரு ஜேர்னல் சப்மிட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. அதுதான் அந்த அஃபென்ஸ்ல வரும், அந்த சயின்டிபிக் மிஸ்கண்டக்ட்ல வரும். பட் ஒரு பேப்பர் ரிஜெக்ட் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா அதை வேற ஜேர்னலுக்கும் சப்மிட் பண்ணலாம். சம்டைம்ஸ் சேம் ஜேர்னலே ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் கொடுப்பாங்க, இதை நீங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டு மாடிஃபை பண்ணிட்டு ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா சப்மிட் பண்ணுங்கன்னு கூட ஆப்ஷன் கொடுப்பாங்க. தட் டிஃபர்ஸ். பட் வி கேன் ரீசப்மிட் எல்ஸ்வேர் ஒன்ஸ் இட் இஸ் ரிஜெக்டட். அது ஒன்றும் இஷ்யூஸ் கிடையாது.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Any queries from the audience side?
Sir, we hope to meet you in our college soon in person, sir. We'll invite you
Sure,
at the right time.
I'm happy to be there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely, sir. We are expecting and eagerly waiting for guiding.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Booma, ma'am. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for the given opportunity.
Yes, sir, thank you so much, sir. We are grateful to you, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Just taking your valuable 1.5 hours of time and your expertise sharing is really very big. Great. We are grateful to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, 1 minute, sir. Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure and a deep sense of gratitude to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Computer Applications, Avicii College of Arts and Science, for this 5 days online faculty development program on smart research and publications, research paper writing with AI tools. Over the past 5 days, we have experienced a wonderful journey of learning, sharing, and exploring new dimensions of research and publication through the use of artificial intelligence. This FDP has truly been an inspiring academic experience for all of us. At the outset, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our Secretary, Sri AVM K. Shanmugam sir, whose constant encouragement and support have always been the foundation for all our academic endeavors. Our sincere thanks to our Principal Ma'am, Dr. Booma Ma'am, for her continuous guidance, motivation, and valuable support throughout the conduct of this faculty development program. Ma'am, your encouragement and keen interest in research-based learning have been instrumental in the successful completion of this event. Thank you, ma'am. We are truly privileged to have a panel of distinguished experts as our resource persons who have generously shared their knowledge, time, and expertise with us. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Agustin Arul Prasad from DG Vaishnav College for guiding this FDP and setting the tone with an insightful session on manuscript writing using AI tools. Your practical approach and demonstration gave us a strong foundation to begin this journey. We are grateful to Dr. K. Arumugham, second day, from PSG Tech for his excellence on tapping the appropriate journal for your manuscript. His expertise helped us how to write a Q1, Q2 journal and impact factor and all those things, avoid common pitfalls in journal selection. Our heartfelt thanks to Dr. K. Ramaswamy from MV Muthaya Government Arts College for Women, Dindigul, for his valuable hands-on session on reference management with Zotero software. It was really a mini workshop on Zotero software. His step-by-step guidance has definitely made referencing and citation management easier for all participants. Fourth day, our sincere thanks to Dr. Priyadarshini from VIT, and her enlightening presentation on AI-powered data visualization for research insights. Her demonstration of visualization tools truly showed us how AI can transform raw data into powerful insights. Last, we extend our warm appreciation to Dr. M. Kamaraj from SRMIST for his informative and structured session on drafting and structuring manuscripts. His clear explanation of each section of a research paper will undoubtedly help us improve the quality of our scholarly writing. End of our esteemed speakers had added immense value to this FDP, and their contributions have enriched our understanding of smart research practices in today's digital world. I would like to thank all our faculty participants from various institutions for your active involvement, enthusiasm, and thoughtful interactions throughout these 5 days. Your participation has made this FDP lively, collaboratively, and truly meaningful. A special word of appreciation to the organizing committee of our Department of Computer Applications for their dedicated planning, coordination, and seamless execution of this online FDP. And also, I would extend my thank to technical support team, Mr. Prakash from Visual Communication and Hayat from DM team. And all faculty members deserve heartfelt applause for their teamwork and commitment behind the scenes. Finally, my sincere thanks to everyone who joined us virtually and made this event a grand success. Let us carry forward the knowledge and insights we have gained and continue to explore, innovate, and publish impactful research using the power of AI. Once again, I thank you all for your valuable time, contribution, and cooperation. Have a great day. Thank you. Yes, kindly, thank you for all the participants. Kindly fill up the feedback form. Thank you, everyone.